So I'm going to try and tackle the problem of the blower motors. As we've seen, there are two of these. They're opposite handed, different fans, spin opposite ways. This one was the one that was spinning more freely. The other one was quite bad, and what I decided to do was, I've got a piece of 1/8 by 1 inch flat stock in the vise. I just shaped the end slightly, and I'm able to slide that in between the blades of the fan and get it up very close to the hub, and then come in with a pin punch. I can just put a finger and hold this in place. I've got it tilted up a little bit uphill. That just helps on the getting the angle to hold it nicely, and then come in with a hammer and knock this out. Now this in fact worked so well, I already have the other fan off with no trouble at all. The first time I tapped it, I felt it shift, so hopefully the second one will be just as easy. But this gives me the opportunity to show you the internal webs, so that you know, I'm coming into the middle of this V through the gap in the blades. So I'm just gonna lightly push this one back on to keep it together. Because they're opposite hand motors and opposite hand fans, I need to keep everything organised. This fan moulding, it's slightly more difficult to see the where the webs are, but it's that's now lined up, no problem. And I just heard the tone change, and that started moving, so I just now have to be a little bit careful, because I don't want to drop the motor. Okay, right, I've now got hold of the motor wiring. And there we go. So you can see it's got a nice knurl, almost a spline on there. The other motor, which was the one that was badly seized, actually freed up quite a lot with the tapping it got during removal. But the next job will be to actually strip the motor apart and give all the bearings a proper service. Commutator on this one looks pretty good. The other motor not quite so good, and I think that's because of the way the fan control is done. Each of these motors has one resistor, and so its lowest setting will be one motor with the resistor in series, then that motor full power, then the other motor brought in with the resistor, and then both motors on full power. So one motor is running all the time you've got any fan on, and the other fan is only used at the two higher settings. And I suspect that that's the one where the commutator is quite dirty, so I may change the arrangement in order to have both fans running. If I want to get really fancy, I could do a thing I did before. I can't find the design files that I did for radiator fans using an Arduino, where rather than bringing on a set of 3 radiator fans, which weren't needed most of the time, only one was needed, then if you're only using one fan, then the other 2 aren't being used, and you can see, so it would actually cycle through the fans every time they were called for, so every fan got runtime on it. And that would be one way of doing it. The other way would be just put a PWM controller on it and run both fans but at variable speed. But the next job will be to get the fans actually apart, sorry, the fan motors apart, and see if we can get the bearings to run a good deal better and clean the commutators and check the brushes. So I've been working patiently round the star washer, and with one of my seal picks getting right up underneath so I can lever on the tip of the leaf where it's gripping the shaft. Fortunately it is just a parallel shaft, they haven't put a groove in, which makes it really hard to remove, and I've got this lifted considerable distance, so we're just at the point of getting that to pop off. Well, I got the star washer off without damaging it. Unfortunately it did manage to ping into a deep dark corner of the workshop, and I may just have to buy a packet of them. There was a light shim washer, possibly it's a Belleville washer on the end there. That'll clean up, that'll be fine. To get the motor apart, you can see there's a little hole here, and on this top piece, this plated piece, there's a dimple pressed in, so that's for aligning this end cover, and there's a pair of tabs bent over to lock it in place. So what I did was come in with a big screwdriver and just lever against the motor body, popped that dimple out, slid these up far enough to get a screwdriver underneath the tab and start folding it, and then went to a bigger screwdriver. So that's now bent up far enough that I can pop the cover, and then we'll turn it around and do it all again. Now the other side has popped back on. What I'll probably do is actually bend those tabs fully back. Obviously you don't want to put too much of a bend into them. And fatigue them. The slip joint pliers are good because I can apply pressure to them to control the virtual pivot point, so it's bending exactly where I want it to. And there's the brush plate off, and there's looks to be a decent length left on the brushes. They're not in too bad condition. In fact, unless this brush is fractured, I don't know if it'll show up, but it looks like one corner might in fact be unworn. So what I'll do now is I'm going to give the shaft a clean so that it's going to pass through the bearing. So there's the armature out. Just had to clean the shaft, and then it was a little bit reluctant to come through the bearing, but it was moving. See the commutators, okay. It needs cleaning. I might give it a very light skim, or maybe just get away with a polish, and make sure I don't lose the thrust washer on this end, but clean that shaft and decide how far I want to take the motor casing, whether I give that a bit of a clean up. The oilite bearing is retained with a star clip, and they're a bit of a pain to get out, but we'll certainly give that a good soak. Let that one of the things I used to do when servicing old laser printers where the fans used to seize is to heat the bearings whilst they were in oil to get them to expel the air, so that when they cool down they pull the lubricant back in.